da 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 la 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 da 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 da.
Somewhere there is a witch in a forest. She is walking, 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 slowly, slowly, slowly. Her feet bare and cold, but more confident and quiet this way. You never know what kind of beast or person could be there. You never know which woods have found themselves with a wolf in them, or a vengeful ghost, or some lost entity. You must tread quietly and carefully, and yet you also mustn't trample willy-nilly. For creatures live in burrowed places. Animals hunt in hidden holes. Eggs fall cushioned gently into moss. Trees begin there. You mustn't trample. Don't you dare. Not even if you are a witch. And this witch is taking careful, quiet, feeling steps. Very slowly, for the sun is beginning to set just now. Only beginning, which is lovely, as there is a gentle and orange glow through the green trees. And it is still just spring, so, cold as she is, the little bit of warmth left from the day is most cherished. She left something here last time she came, and she knows exactly where she left it. Through these trees and past those ones, down this desire path and around this place where the bushes are too thick to tread through, over the stepping stones that cross this little creek, and under the willow trees that shelter that little pond. She finds it. Hidden in tall brown grass near the riverside. These reeds are tall and thick, and she moves so silently through them that the black birds with their red and white shoulders don't even fly away. They just keep singing to each other, swaying gently on the stalks. She finds the place where the land meets the river, and that's where she has hidden a mirror. It is unadorned. It is perfectly round. It is large, perhaps 3 feet across. The reeds reflect themselves in its glass, and the warm light of the sun is low enough that she can see the vast blue-yellow sky in it. A bird flies over it, and she can see a most remarkable view of the midnight black sheen of its belly and its gracefully concealed talons. And once it flies past, she realizes she has the loveliest view of the moon in the glass. You know that time of night when the sun is still out, but the moon is high? Isn't that a wonderful part of springtime? You can see the moon and feel the sun. They are close. They are in love. She sees the moon in the glass, and it is more than half full. It is almost full, but not quite. Not quite. This witch has a goal. This witch has a desire. This witch has a blessing to bestow on herself. It is a quiet one. She is a rather quiet witch, in fact. So quiet that no one really, not truly, not actually understands the depth of her power. No, not even that, but rather the depth of her discipline and efforts to work her will. She daren't speak it aloud, not even to herself, because she thinks, at the deepest part of her heart, it is selfish to work magic, selfish to presume to be a channel for it, and more selfish still to do it for her own ends. She is afraid of selfishness. But the wonderful thing about witches is that when they find themselves to be afraid of some place within, then they know that that is where they certainly must go. We must go where we are afraid. Smiling at her reflection in the glass, she knows this to be wise. We must go where we are afraid. She heard a voice somewhere, sometime far away, far, far away, whisper those words, as if in a gentle bedtime story. By the berries in the pouch at her side, she thinks upon her wish, upon the thing she wants most dearly, most earnestly, the thing she has tried to forget but cannot, the thing that she feels selfish to even think of, but at the same time would just as soon perform all that was in her magical power to make true for a dear friend. She holds the pouch to her lips, opens the drawstring, and wishes it upon the blue and red gems there. What is your wish, my friend? Would you have one to give the witch in the woods? You may whisper it. You may whisper it with your mouth or in your mind. You may wish it. It's okay. You are allowed. Neither I nor she can promise fulfillment, but what we can promise is that you are allowed to want it. Wish with me now, if you like. She holds the pouch to her ear and, though she was a little afraid of hearing someone's voice whisper back at how selfish, how terrible, how grotesque a thing she is for even thinking such a thing, let alone speaking it, she smiles because she hears instead her gentle wish echoed back, and the echoes of timeless longings, never-ending lifetimes, souls close beyond proximity and loved beyond togetherness. She hears all of our wishes. She smiles because she is relieved. She anticipated hatred and derision, but she found only empathy. I hope you did too. She takes one blueberry out and bites it tenderly, half for herself, and the other half she uses to write her deepest prayer in the glass. She baked these berries earlier, and so they have a lovely purplish ink to them, as only warm blueberries can have. She takes one raspberry and draws a sigil containing a heart and ripples of sound for all those who may hear this, for the great one she desires to hear it most, one and the same most assuredly. And then she sits at the riverside, staring out at the water through the reeds while the sun sets, eating her baked berries, because they are sacred and powerful things themselves, but also because it makes her feel good to eat warm berries on a spring night at sunset. When night falls, the wind blows cold and wakes her up. She fell asleep in the reeds, with berry juice staining her fingertips and mouth. The winds swept the river water up and over the mirror, taking her wish and all of ours far away somewhere, somewhere, somewhere far away. Cleaning the glass. That is what it was meant to do. But the cold of the water shakes her awake. And when she looks in the mirror once more, it is under a few inches of crystal clear water. And somehow, she isn't sure by what power, or perhaps even how long she was asleep, or even whether she is awake right now. The moon reflected in the mirror is huge, full, and smiling. The moon has full, berry red lips. The moon has sweet but mischievous black eyes that are covered with a thin veil, almost like a blindfold. But you cannot blindfold the moon, so it is just a bit of lace, really. Her black eyes twinkle as if with a billion distant stars. She sees everything: the moon, the mother. And she heard everything just now, and continues to. The witch is afraid. Of course she is. The moon smiles even wider at that, because the moon knows perfectly well that a witch must go to the places she fears most. They watch each other through the glass. And when it grows too cold, the witch must take her bare feet from the water and walk through the mud just as carefully as when she came in. She must bear the eyes of people in their homes watching her from their windows, her feet blue and dirty, her dress wet with river water, her mouth and face stained red and purple with blueberries and raspberries and all of our wishes. And she is a little afraid of what they must think of her. But she must go past them to get home. She leaves the mirror where it is. She goes through grass, past dandelions that are almost completely wished out. She finds her tower with its balcony and, closing her eyes, sighs and finds herself sitting there. And it is still sunset somehow. Feels like it's been sunset for 1 billion years now. And I sit on the balcony with my good old laptop. My glass table is about 3 feet across. I cleaned it today after I planted the tomatoes, as, fingers crossed, I think the last frost has passed. And it's so clean that you can see your reflection in it. And the moons. I have had the almost full moon reflected back at me as I write this story. What strikes me as most fascinating is that the moon is much, much brighter in the reflection of the glass table I'm writing on than it seems to be in the sky itself. The sky is pale purple now, and a little pink, and baby blue. The sky is an opal, but in the shadows of my balcony, in the mirror of my glass table, the sky is black. No, the sky is not there. The moon is white and bright and smiling down on me, even though she isn't full yet. I've eaten my berries, I've spoken my wish to them, and in the way time and connection works, I think I've spoken yours too. Nothing is promised, nothing is certain. Whatever will be, will be. But the sky is blue and purple and gray now. And the moon is even brighter still. Her smile is even wider. She will be full in a few days. Don't forget to go look at her, mirror or no mirror, holding your wish gently before eating it up. And when you eat it, she will. And she will smile. Hello, my friends. Thanks so much for listening to episode 272 of On a Dark, Cold Night. This is Kristen Zaza, your writer, narrator, host, podcaster, composer, witch in the reeds, etc., etc., etc. Just doing some wishing for this full moon. I have a very mixed and complicated relationship with the idea of wishing. If you've been here before, I'm sure you've heard me say that. I fear that wishing instills in our hearts a lack of something. I fear that wishing for something makes us selfish and short-sighted. But at the same time, denying our hearts the ability to desire is denying our humanity. And our humanity is what it's all about, isn't it? I think. I don't know. Doing some wishing for this full moon anyway. Very happy to have you here, wishing with me too. I would like to send a big warm thank you to Robin, who supported the show by buying me some metaphorical coffee this week at ko-fi.com. Thank you so much for listening and for sharing your kindness, Robin. I'm so grateful. And as always, thanking everyone who supports the show on a monthly basis on patreon.com. Much love to all of you, my friends. On Patreon, every supporter of $1 or more US a month gets access to my complete soundtrack, while supporters of $5 or more a month get that, a weekly bonus meditation episode, and a monthly tarot reading video uploaded on every full moon. There will be a new one coming out on Thursday, I believe, with this full moon coming up, so it's a great time to join. You can learn more at patreon.com/darkcoldnight. You can donate one time only without any perks, like Robin did, at any donation amount you like by visiting ko-fi.com, that's ko-fi.com/darkcoldnight. T-shirts and hoodies are available at bonfire.com/on-odd-dark-cold-night. And the weekly meditation episodes are also available through a subscription to the Sonar Plus Apple Podcast channel for $3.99 a month. You can search up On a Dark Cold Night in iTunes to learn more. I would really, really value a review or a rating left on Spotify, iTunes, Facebook, or wherever else you like to rate and review podcasts. You can follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram at Dark Cold Night Podcast, TikTok and Blue Sky at Kristen Zaza, and Twitter at A Dark Cold Night. And you can find my albums, Favorite Little Songs from On a Dark Cold Night, Volumes 1 and 2 on Spotify or any other music streamer by looking up Kristen Zaza. Thank you so much for listening, for being here, and for wishing with me. Lots of love, my friends. I have a long weekend here and am excited to have a little rest. I hope your weekend is full of peace, love, rest, and maybe berries if you like them. Sweet dreams, everyone. This podcast has been brought to you by the Sonar Network. Sonar.